Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has happened. Giannis Antetokounmpo has been traded to the Miami Heat, where I said he was going the whole time, right? Once again, Carcino is correct. All this dancing. Is he going to Boston? Is he going to join Luca? Is he going to go ahead? All the circus. And I told you, he was going to the Miami Heat. Since last year, they tried to do the trade. This was all about draft picks. Pat Riley was holding on to draft picks. Then they said, well, they can get a third team involved. The Detroit Pistons could end up with Tyler Hero. I'm like, we already got white boys. We don't need any more. What are we talking about here? The Heat got fleeced. Well, if you're Milwaukee, you got the best deal out there. The Knicks couldn't have gave you a better deal. I don't think Giannis wanted to go to New York. He didn't want to play with Jalen Brunson. I can tell you that now. He just went through that with Dame Lillard. This is the lower level version of Dame Lillard. No, you're not going to want to play with him. Cat would have to go, so you would definitely be there. No, hell no. Go to Miami. He probably loves Miami, love the beach, love the water. He want to get out the Midwest, no more snow. Now, the power dynamic changes. So you got Bam. Oh, I didn't even tell y'all who was all traded in this trade, right? Let me give you the whole trade that's laid out. So, in the Giannis trade, you have Bobby Portis. Giannis and Bobby are going together in the deal. For Tyler Hero, Khalid Ware, and the wild Mexican Jaime, what's his name, Jaquez Jr. Right? And the guy, what's his name? Jacalonis, whoever the hell that is. And 3 first-round draft picks, 1 pick swap, and a one second-round pick. So they got 1 pick swap, a second-round pick, and 3 first-round picks, plus 4 players for Giannis and Bobby Portis. So they let Ware go for Giannis and Bobby Portis with Bam. So now this tells me Bam game is going to change. And they're going to try to build around Bam. Okay? You're going to build around Bam, and you're going to have to change the game up. Bobby knows Giannis and how Giannis likes to play. Who's your guard? Your guard's going to have to be smart. And yes, y'all are defensive minded. Y'all like to do handoff passes. That's really not Giannis's game. When Giannis don't have the ball offensively, he's not that dangerous. They're going to have to form their game. So if I'm Milwaukee, you got the best deal out there. You got Pat Riley to fold and give you everything you wanted. Yeah, so this deal is massive. Oh yeah, the Heat is definitely going to be in contention. Uh, my whole thing with them is injuries. Giannis has had a lot of injuries in the last few years. How is he going to hold up in Miami? Pat folded up. I thought I said Tyler Hero. If I didn't, I don't know how I forget that part. That was the only essential player that they had from Miami going in the deal. But they don't consider Milwaukee don't consider him a franchise player like that. They think of him as pretty much accessory piece. Plus, Tyler Hero's going back to Milwaukee. That's why I kept telling y'all, why y'all gonna get Tyler Hero? Like, we're not getting Tyler Hero. Oh, that's what I keep telling you. I'm like, we already got a white boy. We don't want Tyler Hero. We don't need that kind of guy on the Detroit Pistons at all. He does not fit what we do. Let him go to Milwaukee. The trade was almost done last year. They didn't have anything to do with the Pistons. I know Pat Riley would like to do that and have a third team come in, but he couldn't find a third team to play ball with because Minnesota decided to do the deal with the Chicago Bulls and this 3-team trade that took place also at the same time. Julius Randle and the number 28 pick in this year's draft is going to the Brooklyn Nets, and a 3-team trade that's going to put Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton is going to the Chicago Bulls. And they're going to get the Timberwolves are going to get Brooklyn's 33rd pick for Randall, and now they have the number 28 pick. So now they got 3 picks. I don't know what in this draft that they want. They said, look, y'all can have Julius Randle in Brooklyn, and you can have the 28th pick. We'll take the number 33 pick in the draft. They just wanted Randall off the books and for a draft pick because I guess they're gonna lose him anyway. They weren't gonna sign him. And then, they'll take the 33rd pick, and the Bulls are gonna get Nick Claxton. Well, all these other idiots kept talking about the Boston Celtics were the favorite to land Giannis. They weren't gonna get Giannis. I told you it's not happening. Boston already has Tatum. You're not going to have Tatum and Giannis. That's not going to work. You need somebody who understands they're the B side. Okay. Bam knows, like, look, I'm the star of this team, but I'm a low tier star. Right. They always say Sino don't know what he's talking about, but Sino winds up being right every time. So make that part make sense. I'm all right every time. Mm. Yes. People have to make they have to make adjustments. Right. I mean, if you look at what's going to happen next, you're not going to like it. Well, especially if you're the New York Knicks, because they they understand what it's about. See, they through with you now. They y'all got y'all a little participation award, and okay, they did all that for you. That this they're gonna count this as the next season. You're done now. You're no longer the agenda. Get them out of here. Mm. Well, what was I don't even know if they full roster is through. Davion Mitchell is going to be very key in what they're going to do. You got Davion Mitchell. He's going to have to really transition to a point guard where he's looking to facilitate more than score. Yeah. And now that Giannis is gone, what will they do now? You know, what's going to happen with Norman Powell? You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of decisions still to be made with this lineup. Okay, you lost Tyler Hero, you gained Giannis. So is Giannis and Bobby Portis gonna start? Okay, Bobby's older. You got Bam in there, and Bam can run point sometimes. But is that where you want Bam to be? So you got a large lineup. Who's your finesse guys? Gotta have your finesse. Oh, they're gonna be tough. Miami's always gonna be a tough out for anybody. Even when their team is bad, they're still a tough out. It's the way they play the game. They play in the paint. They play in that situation that could be, disruptive. Now the whole thing here is going to come down to the bench. All right, Simone Fanacheko. I don't know who these people are. Gardner. I don't know him. They got rid of the 19-year-old guy. He going to Milwaukee with the wild Mexican, but that means this they might upgrade this Keyshawn Johnson. They got the other Joker over there. I think they got Trevor Keels still on the team, Larson, but it's Davion Mitchell, man. He's 27 years old. He can still do what he got to do. They freed up a lot of money because Terry Rozier's situation didn't work out. You got Wiggins for right now. You got Jameer Young. So the whole lineup looks ready to be depleted, changed, flipped, what have you. Now, Giannis is now going to be a Miami Heat, what he should have been last year. And now it's finally a done deal. Does this make the Miami Bucks an NBA championship team or a contender? So you got Wiggins, Norman Powell, Bam, Bobby Portis, and Giannis with Davion Mitchell. Like I said, Davion Mitchell is going to have a lot of growing up to do for this lineup. It's a big lineup. Oh, I know Tone finna go crazy. This is his moment here. Now, the Knicks are in trouble. Because as more and more teams are coming to strengthen up, they're like this. They're going down. So while all the other teams are beefing and strengthening up, they're the ones that's going down. Yeah, that Miami Heat Knicks series gonna look a lot different now if they meet in the playoff. And you still don't want to see the Detroit Pistons in New York. And what about the Boston Celtics for you? Might as well start at y'all thing right now. Hey, at least we got one. That's all you better say. At least we got one. At least they gave us one. Don't get stupid like New York Knicks fans do. Man, we beat Giannis before. We can beat him again. Don't get stupid and start doing all that craziness. Oh, the Miami Heat fans are excited. They was like, who remember this? The big three moment. Now we got a big three. I'm like, who? Bam, Giannis, and Bobby Porter? They was like, oh, we not done, see though. We gonna make some more moves. I'm like, okay. Expect Jaylen Brown to be traded still. No, I still expect him to be traded. I don't see him coming back to Boston next year. I see him being traded before the season. Where he goes, I don't know. I would like to see him on Detroit. Now, if you want to say who I would like being in the backcourt with Cade, it would be Jaylen Brown. He fits what we do. On ball defense, guard. So we'll lose Duncan Robinson for him, yes, in a heartbeat. But we might not have to do that. We can give up Karis LeVert, Ron Holland, a couple other guys that we could think of. But if they say we want beef stew, nah, we good. This is Where Ja might go, I'm hearing he might go to the Atlanta Hawks mostly. That's the only talks I've heard about. They've been actually trying to work on a relationship with Ja to see if this is salvageable, but they're trying to send him to Atlanta. That's where he wants to go. So we'll see how that works out. Trey Young is opted out of his 14 million deal. And no one, that's not a surprise. He just opted out of the 14 million. He plans on re-signing back with Washington. Trey Young wants to stay there, so he opted out to test the market so he can get more money, and they'll come up with a better deal to sign Trey Young. But he'll remain in Washington. Don't worry. Now, the Atlanta Hawks re-signed CJ McCollum. So CJ will remain with Atlanta. He got more money thanks to the Knicks series. So he got another year extended. So shouts out to CJ for that. Now, how is all the rest of this going to be constructed? Big Stu is going to the Miami Heat. He going to the Boston Celtics. Big Stu ain't going over there. We good. I mean, our people are not this stupid. The Detroit Pistons did not get this far this fast by being stupid. They're seeing that all these hype guys aren't really what they cranked up to be. It comes down to actual talent. And while they weren't paying attention, the Detroit Pistons built themselves up really fast. Now, the Milwaukee Bucks, they didn't just become bums, ladies and gentlemen. No. They got players now. And they got first round draft picks. And they're ready to roll, buddy. First, they got Ware. They got the wild Mexican and James Jr., who plays great defense. Yeah, 3 first round draft picks. There was no way they're going to give away. The Detroit Pistons are going to assist in that nonsense. Well, there was supposed to be a deal where Memphis was going to get Kyle Kuzma and Joker or Jokic or whatever. That still might happen. But the Detroit Pistons is not going to be involved as far as I know. Now I do see Ron Holland, and we might lose LeVert in a trade situation. The Miami Heat should have traded Jimmy Butler. I think they hold on to him a year too long. 1 year too long. They should have traded Jimmy Butler the year prior. No, all the other players that was involved in that transaction, they moved on forward. Ja for Jaylen Brown, it's a horrible idea. But yeah, he doesn't fit Boston's style of play at all. I wouldn't want to play in Boston if I was him. Ja Morant in Boston? Bad trade, bad situation. That's what you need to be focused on. See, the focus is in two different areas, man. So on the Patreon, we're gonna have a much better conversation over there because it's gonna be something more advanced than the general public is, expecting to hear from. We're gonna start to figure out what it is that's actually happening here. So, for all my Patreons that's in the house, this week we're gonna be going through the corruption of the league, everything, all on the Patreon. Oh, it's going down. To believe me, I'm leaving no stone unturned. Now, when there were several different opportunities that transpired or took place and went in a direction that other people were not privy to or accustomed to, other people didn't say anything about it. It was just looked as, whatever. Now, when you look at, let's say, things like with Giannis and his trade, what is it going to free up for Milwaukee? You have draft picks that you can use for trade collateral to build your roster up if you're the Bucks. And you're way under the second apron. You can make a lot of moves happen fast. This is fake news. How's it fake news? Giannis is a Milwaukee Bucks, sir. No longer. What's going to happen with Klay Thompson this year? It's a lot of options, but I see him going back to the Lakers. Well, not back, but going to either the Lakers or the Sacramento Kings. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'll do the first round of the draft. I never heard them want to get rid of Kawhi. See, sometimes you got to understand that there is a such thing as the LeBron James media train, and they're out here feeding you bad information. So they'll say anything or anybody that's opposing LeBron, or they'll say anything crazy about him. The team should be looking to move him because he's not really that good of a guy, and his best years are behind him. Next thing you know, he put up like 17 straight points in the All-Star game. Well, Kawhi is one of a kind. I think if he would team up with LeBron, now that would be great. It's like what you just said, he was washed up. Now he got a team with LeBron. It's like, dude, can you make it like look less obvious of what you're doing? Mm. Well, the Pistons are worried because we're a fine-tuned machine that's not codependent on just one person. Will they blow up the rosters? Who will be the dark horse pick next year? Uh, I see that the Bulls could be better next year. And where and Jaime's playing, I mean, the wild Mexican playing in Milwaukee will be better for them. They're gonna have a lot of free reign. Plus, they got Tyler Hero. So the three of them still, the unit still know comfortable playing with each other and playing together. They should have a lot more freedom. Yeah, the Wild Mexican had a down year last year, and they weren't going to re-sign him, even though they love him down there. He's a favorite. Sending him to Milwaukee is a good positional move for the Miami Heat because the next 2 years he's going to be, looking for a new contract. All right, if you're the Bucks, y'all have no expectations. Uh, you got your one championship. You can ride off into the sunset with that. And everybody's talking about the Pistons getting Tyler Hero. And I kept telling you, stop. Word. I understand y'all got to do it now because the Pistons are the number one team in the East. But listen, we need you to understand something and understand it clearly. We know what we are. Okay. The rest of the world, they're in limbo. We know we're good. We know we're exceptional. So they got to figure it out. A lot of people like where their group is right now. They say, hey, I like where our group is. So, Igor, he's not going back to Cleveland. LeBron James is not going back to Cleveland, the Midwest, none of that. Not even a visit. No. Oh, his ego's not too big to be Steph's sidekick because he's gonna make Steph. Steph is good at playing a position, letting everybody else be the lead. When KD went there, it was KD's team. And it was like, no, it's still Steph Curry's team. It's just Steph's ego is not like theirs. He's more than okay than letting them go. Now for Miami, they got to figure out their bench problems. They got bench problems. Their reserves are probably one of the weakest in the NBA. They got tryhards, but against another team like Detroit, that'll be your downfall. No. Now, here's the thing. Where is Russ going to go next? He's not going back to the Lakers. He won't go back with the Clippers. Oh, when you fumble the bag, that's what happens. Right. I mean, look, this year was all about an agenda to get the Knicks a championship. The NBA had to get this team there the best way they could. Right. The best way they could do it. No, the best way that they could do it was this way right here. If you're going to execute something like this, what would be the best case scenario and how to do it? This would be it. He said, I'm glad the Heat made some kind of change because we were stuck in mediocrity, but we gave up all our young guys and got older. We need to fill the bench. This is honoring Bam. This wasn't about Giannis more than it was about honoring Bam. This was Bam's moment for Bam sticking it out, being there through the tough years, and he paid his dues. You know, Bam's been there through Jimmy Butler. He's been there through it all. Wade coming back, the whole nine. And he's been that loyal soldier. So to honor, Bam, they went out and got they went and got the old guys back. Where it all happens. No, I don't see it going down that way. But Bam is the point guard. Bam can play point, but that's not where you want Bam. Bam is more efficient down low. But him and Giannis playing together, they're gonna have to find their position and style. But like I said, this is all to appease. This is for Bam to actually go out and build a team. You know, you got Norman Powell. If he could stay healthy, you know, this could be essentially something that catapult them to the future. But if he's not healthy, then you have a problem. Because Powell was brought up to be that guy. I don't think Powell stays on the team. Really, they might do a trade. It might. Miami's not done. Like, dude, he's a Miami Heat guy. He said, "Oh, Pat Riley's not done." But I'm like, Pat gave up a lot of draft picks, and he normally don't do that. So he's going for a win now mentality. Oh yeah, things become bigger and larger than life. That's because they normally or naturally are. They become that. They they ascend to a certain level till they become larger than life. Oh yeah. No, it was like a blunderfest for the last few years for Miami. Things that didn't pan out. So when they let Jimmy go and they got Norman Powell, Norman Powell was hurt most of the time. They re-signed Tyler Hero and they should have got rid of him, and they couldn't do a trade to get him done. They end up, Pat was guarding those doggone draft picks like they was his kids, and he just did something different. Yeah. What could be What could be more dynamic than that? I didn't see it that way. Dog, it never fails, man. In this game, you never can make it as far as 10 seconds before. It's one championship. Everybody thinks they got a chance when it's 0-0. Now, what if LeBron goes back to the Lakers? LeBron goes back to the Lakers. He goes to the Clippers, go to State. It's not going to matter. I think he needs to retire. That's the real truth of it. I think he needs to retire. Because wherever he go, he's gonna want Bronny James with him. So they come in a package deal. You get LeBron, you got to take his son Bronny and put him on the bench to take up space. Papa, are we really leaving, Papa? I like it here. No, they don't respect us, Bronny. We don't go where we respect it. So I get my team. And you're gonna be the leader of that team. You and your brother. Yep. We're gonna win the championship our first year. Yep. Yeah, I told Adam. First year I won a championship. No, it's I don't see them like that. Um, as far as what the NBA teams, NBA trade options. That what you talking about? NBA trade options? Where they might be going, who's going where, like what? What do you want to know? My opinion? Uh, Donovan Mitchell should be gone. He should be trying to get out of there. Evan Mobley should be he should be out the league. That's how bad Evan Mobley is. He should be out the league. Paulo, I don't know what they're gonna do there. Jaden McDaniels is up for a possible trade. Kawhi Leonard is on the board. Kyrie Irving, what they're gonna do with Kyrie? He's gonna stay in Dallas. I would keep him there. Anthony Davis, he seems like he wants to be there, but do you want to commit to Anthony Davis? Zion, big body Zion. You Zion Williamson and you want to go somewhere. Here's the newsflash. Nobody wants to go to New Orleans. Nobody wants to play for the Pelicans. That's real spill. Nobody wants to play for them, dog. And how much do Kawhi Leonard have in the tank? Kawhi's not leaving the Clippers. I'm not even worried about that. He's staying. So James Harden is staying in Cleveland. Don't mean things can't go left if the season start going a certain way. Next year, Donovan Mitchell is going to be a free agent. Well, he's getting $50 million this year. Kawhi's getting $50 million. Jaylen Brown's getting $57. This year, Giannis is getting paid what, $58 million? Then you got Giannis for another year after this, and you're gonna have to re-sign Giannis, and these gonna be massive deals. So Miami's in a "we gonna win it all next year" situation. That's the danger with these type of moves. You're gonna have to win it all now, or you betting on it in 2 years, and if not, it's over. Well, okay, let's look at Cleveland. Evan Mobley is getting what this year? Because he just signed a new deal. So somebody who gets Evan Mobley's getting paid $50 million a year. He just signed his new deal. So he gets $50 million next year. He gets 53.8 the year after that. Then he goes to 57 in 2029, the 2028-29 season. Then 29-30, he gets $60 million. Spider gets 50 this year, and then next year he has a player option. Do he want to opt in for his 53 million? Or do he want to leave? Harden this year has a player option, and I already know he's opting in for that 42 million. So James ain't gonna leave no money on the table. James like, these strippers can't eat no championship, baby. She takes singles. So Jared Allen, he's there for 3 years. His contract is he getting like 28 million a year, about 30 million the next two. So you cool with Jared Allen. You ain't got to worry about that. That Evan Mobley contract is a problem. You gonna want to move him ASAP. Well, they wanted to stick with him because that was their draft pick, and they wanted to build around Evan Mobley. Once they made that decision that we're gonna build around Evan Mobley, he's the star of the team, and they start building around him, and they got everybody else up out of there, Garland, and it's like, all right, yeah, here we go. Then they got Spider, and then it was like, okay, it's Spider's team now. Now we're kind of building around him. But let's look at Jaden McDaniels from the Timberwolves. Now, this year, Jaden McDaniels, he's a very key piece to the Timberwolves, in my opinion. He got highs in points, 3-point percentage, the whole nine. And he's only getting paid $26 million. So you say, okay, this guy's got skills. He's only getting paid $26 million in next year. I say we keep this guy. If you Minnesota, Jaden McDaniels is somebody you locking down for your future. He's a nail guy. I don't let him go at all. Now, this offseason, Paulo, a lot of people think Paulo's a trade piece, going into this year. He averaged 22 points, injured most of the year, shot 46%, shot 31%. It was pretty much a low season for him. But he's starting a max contract next year. So the whole thing is, if you're the Orlando Magic, if you ready to break up this Franz and Paulo relationship, which they're not, they're gonna hold on to this forever. And people are upset that their ownership hasn't been built up their second unit, their bench. They feel that the bench has failed them in plenty of games. I don't know. Anthony Davis is gonna stay with the Wizards. I think it's a good fit for him. I mean, you got Keyshawn George, Trey Young, you got Anthony Davis, and you got Sarr out there on the floor. So, I mean, that's right now. That's like your big four. The Lakers don't want Bron. Everybody wants Bron to just go. I mean, your pouting and kicking ain't gonna do nothing, dude. Just walk. Zion Williamson. I'm trying to tell you, man. Everybody's gonna talk about his weight. And they're gonna want a weight clause in every contract Zion has from here on out. The Pelicans want to keep him, of course, because they can't get nobody there to play for him. No. I see him staying with New Orleans if he can't find a home, because everybody else is gonna slap him with that doggone injury clause, and because of his injuries, they're not gonna want to give him that money. Now, when it comes to Kyrie, the Dallas Mavericks are not interested in trying to trade him. They're not. They're just, a lot of them are not interested in letting him go. I mean, they got Derek Lively, who could be gone, or Gafford could be gone. You got Max Christie from the Lakers that's on Dallas. You got Najee Marshall. You got Klay Thompson, who should be traded, probably. I think they'll trade him. Cooper Flag. And, this will be different when Kyrie comes back. But I think Cooper plays a lot more open with Kyrie there, because you still going to have to worry about Kyrie. But Daniel Gafford, I can see with the Lakers. That'll be a good complementary fit for the Lakers. Ja Morant. Ja has a sprain in his left elbow, what they call a UCL sprain. So he played just 20 games last year. And we don't know how bad these injuries are going to keep him in the position that he is. He averaged 28 points, the fewest in his career. I mean, not 28 points, but minutes per game. He shot 41%, the worst in his career. Ja did. He's getting 42 million next year, 44 after that. So Ja Morant is set to become a free agent in 2028, 2029. So 2 more years on his deal. They don't have to get rid of Ja, but Ja is very unhappy with this organization in the direction they're going, as they basically are doing a rebuild. Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're looking at tomorrow is the first round of the draft. The 30th, the free agency starts. July the 3rd is Summer League. That's the start of Summer League, right? And July the 6th, teams can start signing free agents. Then July the 9th, you got the Summer League in Las Vegas from the 9th to the 19th. So right then and there, you're set to go. Well, if you look at the league, all the action is in the East. All the action is in the East. The West is only the Spurs, OKC, and then they just talk about the Lakers. But they're not real competition. Hell, the Timberwolves is more of a threat than the Lakers, if you really look at it. You know, the Lakers still have to prove they can beat Denver in a series, really. They really have to prove that. The Houston Rockets didn't have a point guard. They'll get their point guard back. And then that'll be a different series for the Lakers. You know, so they have their own pot to piss in problem over there. But this scenario here that the West is just outstanding and everybody else is, it sucked. That narrative is done. All the beasts are in the East. My thing is, who would trade? The Chicago Bulls would probably trade for Mobley. That seemed like a move they would do. Jalen Suggs is going to stay with Orlando. He's getting 32 million next year. He's good. Giannis is only getting 42 million next year. Depends on how his weight is. He got to get on the scale. But Anthony Davis contract, Jesus, he's getting 58 million next year. Do you want that 58 million on your books? That's what you're gonna have to ask yourself. Yeah, we covered that already. The Claxton. Ja might still be there to play a whole nother year under this system. and they might trade him at the All-Star break if they can't find a home for him during the draft. Him and that coach do not get along. They're running two different systems than what Ja is used to. And this is the style and what they're playing now is not going to help Ja get any better or the team get better. Mm-hmm. Oh, Vanderbilt? No, Vanderbilt. These are like trade pieces that you could use. The Philadelphia 76ers, if they could find a fool to get rid of Paul George, they could trade Joel Embiid if they wanted to, but he's getting 57 million. Who's going to trade you a player unless the salary is comparable? So no, they're not losing Embiid. Paul George is getting 54 million. It's going to be hard to move him. So if you're looking at Sabonis, he's getting 45 million next year. He'll be a great addition to a team, but he spent most of the year hurt. DeMar DeRozan is in the last twilight of his playing career. He's getting 25 million. If anybody want to pick up DeRozan, don't, because he's very delusional. I would not pick up a player that believes he's supposed to be starting and just shooting every damn shot. It's crazy. I mean, dude, if you want to be a six man and play for the league minimum, then yeah. Now, Jacob Paulette, he's a good backup center. The Detroit Pistons need to get him. Get Jacob Paulette on the team to be a backup, like a role-playing guy. He's a good locker room guy. You know, he's with the Raptors. Did a great job in getting those big guys ready, teaching them moves and working with them. He might be a coach when he retires. And Vanderbilt is washed up. You know, he's at 12 million. He ain't gonna get any more money. Jared Vanderbilt is done. Well, they think, oh well, Joel Embiid is getting old. This is the final year of his deal. You know, he's got a player option, so he's not going anywhere. What you talking about? Joel Embiid is staying in Philly. Now, Paul George, he's owed 110 million over the next 2 years. That was the part that handcuffed the doggone 76ers. They should have got rid of that deal immediately. Get rid of him. It's not worth it to keep everybody sticking around for no reason. Oh, there'll be some more trades tomorrow. Probably not some big ones, just some small ones, but it's coming. You're not De'Aaron Fox. He's not going to be traded. He's going to stay with the San Antonio Spurs and be the starting point guard. Lauri Markkanen. Once again, every year they say they're trying to trade for Lauri Markkanen. They've been doing this for 3 years with Lauri Markkanen. And he always ends up on the Jazz. So they're not letting Lauri go for none of the stuff y'all asking about. So stop asking. Kevin Durant, he's not going anywhere. His 43 million, yes. Kevin Durant is happy right where he at now in Houston. Now, right. If he put himself out there enough, who knows? Right? Now, surprise trade candidates that you can see coming. I would be surprised, but if I see Brandon Ingram traded, I would be surprised. Or Jamal Murray. Those would surprise me. That'll tell me these people are going, everybody desperate. I could see DeJounte Murray. Everybody think we're gonna get DeJounte Murray. He's getting 32 million. That's right in our price range. Rudy Gobert could be gone in a trade. He's getting 36 million this year. I wouldn't want Rudy Gobert. Brandon Ingram's getting 40. Now, if Orlando gave up Franz, that would be hurtful to their team. But 41 million is what he get next year, and I don't know if Orlando wants to keep the Wagner things going because they still got Mo Wagner on the team too. So they come like a package deal, them brothers. With Aaron Gordon and Jared Allen, let them go. I'm cool with letting that go. That's no problem over here. Let them go. Now, let's say you could see Jimmy Butler going to where? No. If you trade a $56 million player, it's going to be for another 50-something million dollar player. The people who I do see traded, Dante Divincenko, he's only getting 12.5. He can be gone. Moses Moody might get traded. I think they keep Moses Moody, though. Miles Bridges, I see him possibly traded from the Hornets, which will shock some people. But he might be traded and moved. Jeremy Grant from Portland, I think it's time for him to go now. And the Phoenix Suns might be ready to move on from Jalen Green. Green might stay, but those are the opportunities that's out there for the guys. I think there's going to be on the definitely moving list. I think they're definitely moving because the money fits. Dante could go on a package deal with somebody in Minnesota. And then they can just cut Dante Divincenko because he's not going to play next year. He's going to miss the whole season. He's not stupid enough to try to come back like Tatum did. What's the future going to hold for like whom? Who are we talking about? Oh, Miami Heat fans are jumping up and down. They can't believe it. They turning over chairs. Dude, you you have no idea how Miami Heat fans are acting right now. This is it. They done got themselves set. They are ready to go. Dude, you have no idea. Dude, I'm telling you, this was all a smoke screen. They weren't gonna do that. The Celtics with Giannis playing with Tatum, it just don't even fit. Yeah, everybody I know is excited. Especially everybody from Miami.
Down to the. What is a Celtic? What is a Celtic, man? I don't even need a chair. I don't even need a chair because I'm never sitting again for the rest of my life. Because what I'm doing is I'm going to bow down to Pat Riley. I'm going to bow down to the Godfather. And I'm going to bow down to Giannis Antetokounmpo. For months, I had people tell me that I was a fool for hanging this beautiful number 34 jersey on my wall. I had people tell me that I was a dork and a clown and a creep and a dweeb and a weirdo. Well, guess what? I'm none of those things. I'm a visionary. Man. Hey, quick editor note, y'all. This should go without saying. But please to get there very quickly. But for real, I've been working so hard on this channel, man. This will be my 6th season covering the team, and I'm just.
So this man is pumped up. You got to remember, they got Wiggins. They have so you got Bobby Portis. The big three is going to be Bobby Portis, Giannis, and Bam. And then you still got Andrew Wiggins, and you got Norman on the team. And Davion Mitchell is going to be the key. How do you deal with that? And there's only one basketball, ladies and gentlemen. He's like, he's so happy. I don't blame him. That's just how this thing is, man. People are excited. He is beyond himself because he's been calling it the whole time. Just like I said, he was going to Miami. Not the
You said Dame was coming to Miami. Dame ain't never come to Miami. And yeah, we were heartbroken at the time, but I told y'all back then, I was sick. But I told y'all, everything happens for a reason. And if the Miami Heat had got Damian Lillard back then, they would have never landed one of the greatest players in NBA history in Giannis Antetokounmpo, a top 5 most dominant player in the league today. They would have never gotten him. That's the domino effect. That's the butterfly effect, y'all. That's why y'all gotta stay positive and watch these games, even though this team was painfully mediocre for the last 4 seasons. We stuck through it, and now no more because we have the Greek Freak. You know who doesn't have the Greek Freak? Chris Haynes, ya bum, and all these other Celtics who said, oh, we got the better package. We have Hugo Gonzalez. We have Hugo Gonzalez. Oh, I'm sorry that we don't have Hugo Gonzalez, man. Get the hell out of here, bro. Listen, I don't even know what the hell this trade even is because right now it's 12:07 at night. I got this notification. I didn't even get the notification, actually. I'm laying in bed. Trust me, I was staying up all night tonight because we knew this thing was going down. I was staying up. I get a call from my boy Will. And I said, Will, you better not be busting my ass right now, or whatever the term is. I said, you better not be lying right now. You better not be trying to make a funny. Tonight is not the night. And I'm patiently waiting for the words to come out his mouth. It's either gonna be damn, bro, or it's gonna be we did this shit. And he said, and I said, that sounds like a positive, Will. That sounds like a positive. He said, we did it, Ant. I said, Will, I swear to God, if you lying to me, I'm never talking to you again. Mind you, I was in this man's wedding, and I would never talk to him again if he was lying to me right now. Because I already had other people trying to pull the funny and say, oh, Giannis to Miami, confirmed. I mean, we've been hearing that for weeks from all these dumbass reporters that I've been telling y'all about on this channel. I said, don't listen to nobody because nobody knows anything. Even as early as today, Shams Charania decides to open up his big trap for the first time in 2 months and say, oh, yeah, Boston's putting Jaylen Brown on the table. Brian Windhorst said the same thing. Oh, Boston's putting Jaylen Brown on the table. And all these other people saying, oh, Miami can't beat that offer. Oh, once you put Jaylen Brown on the table, it's over. And what did I tweet out today? What did I tell y'all today? I said, for the first time since this damn thing started, I felt like the Miami Heat were finally going to get Giannis. Why? Because now, for the first time in this saga, everybody was against us. I tweeted out the photo from the 2023 playoffs, the 3% graphic. Y'all remember the 3% graphic? Going into that series, the Miami Heat were the 8th seed, and they said, oh, the Boston Celtics have a 97% chance to win that series. And I said, 97% chance my ass. Going into tonight, they had a 97% chance to get Giannis, 97% chance my ass. Because Pat Riley and Miami Heat did it again. And you know that the rest of the league is scared. Because all we've been hearing over the last couple of days from people inside Boston who maybe didn't have as much faith that they would land Giannis, they started saying, oh, Giannis is not that good. Oh, Miami, they can't possibly compete. They can't possibly compete. Oh, I can't fathom a world in which the Miami Heat could compete with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Well, really? Might I...
Hey, don't forget to sub to this dude, man, because he was telling y'all from the jump that Giannis was going there. I said, yeah, Giannis is going to Miami. And he was like waiting for this moment. He's been waiting for this. So, oh, yeah, it's up for all y'all other fans. He's ready to bring it. Notice there are no more Knick fans. No more Knick fans. That's all over with now. It's all done.
Bring you back to 2020 when the Heat had a healthy Jimmy Butler and bust the Boston Celtics ass? Might I bring you back to 2022 when the Heat had a healthy Jimmy Butler and was one shot away from busting the Celtics ass in 7 games? Might I bring you to the next season when the Heat had a healthy Jimmy Butler and bust the Celtics ass in 7 games? Now you telling me that we got Giannis? Oh, and we can't compete no more. Oh, we can't compete. I heard the same damn thing back then. We're hearing the same thing now. And you know what it means? Do you know what it means? It means the Miami Heat are back. Oh, my God. It feels so good to say. It feels so good to say. I've watched every second of mediocre Heat basketball for the last several seasons. Oh, and it has sucked. I've come out on here after seeing this Heat team lose to the bad version of the Pistons and the Pacers last year and the Jazz and the Wizards. And I had to sit here and I had to talk about it. I had to talk about it because I'm a Heat fan. That's what I am. And it was all worth it for tonight, man. Listen, I don't want to sound like they won a damn championship or nothing. Yeah, the work is just now starting tonight. I don't want that to be lost. But if you're a Heat fan watching this video, you get the excitement, man. You do. And I got to be honest, had the Heat not got Giannis, because I know I hung up the jersey and I said some positive things, but I've also made it very clear I also didn't think the Heat were going to get Giannis this whole time. But that was more so just them, the front office, training me and conditioning me to not believe that they'd ever get anybody, because they never do.
No, he said they never do. He was starting to lose faith. Hey, look. That's because of the way Pat Riley negotiates. But he does reward his guys, man. So he decided to reward Bam and putting a team around Bam that could actually vie for a chance for a championship, at least be a threat in the East. And say, hey, we're going to get you a team, Bam, because you stuck it out through this Tyler Hero thing. We should have got rid of Tyler Hero. We stuck with him and paid him the money that he didn't deserve to get. And here we go. Well, when people try to attack legacy, they start attacking from a level that don't usually make a bunch of sense. Well, yeah, you want to always make sure you're doing the very best there is. You know, no one wants to be in that position. Yeah, they gave up Wiggins. OKC gave up Wiggins because they got players that's coming up right now. You got Case and Wallace coming up. You can let Wiggins go. This is the joy of having a young team. You can have a team that you can compete with and be under the second apron. You don't need all this, the superstar this, superstar that. Well, you want to always make sure you're doing the right thing. And you want to do the thing what's best and right by you. For your organization now, because of the second apron they created, it's going to prevent a lot of guys from doing what Miami Heat is doing now. And they're trying to win right now. So they gave up their young talent for Bam. This is all for Bam. This is Pat Riley saying, I'm doing this for you, Bam. We're going to go right now to try to win a championship because I owe you this. Pat Riley feel that Bam has been holding the team together through mediocre seasons with Tyler Hero and knowing that this isn't a guy that's complimentary. The Jimmy Butler trade, where you really just got Jimmy out of there and you didn't get anything really for Jimmy. You got Wiggins out of it, and okay, but now you have a real chance. Well, yeah, you want to have a real chance. Pat Riley gave up the picks. He gave up 3 first-round draft picks, a swap pick, and then a second-round draft pick. So he gave up 5 draft picks. And the players wasn't the problem. People thought he was really hanging on to Tyler Hero. That wasn't the case. He was holding on to draft picks. That's what he didn't want to give up. Pat Riley is known for being stoic about giving up draft picks. Bam only averaged 20. That's all he needs to average. They don't need him to average anything more than. You see, the thing about it is simple. He doesn't need to Bucks are looking good for the future run. They can compete now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, oh, are they gonna trade Kyle Kuzma? You talking about Kuzma is fire? Oh, I don't see it as that. Bucks compete like the Raptor squad? Perhaps. That's all iffy. Iffy jiffy. Oh yeah, we'll all find out in the long run of things, but mm-hmm. Then you know it. So yeah, well, if you get LeBron on the Clippers, what are they going to do? LeBron and Kawhi. What did Bam win? Well, he got Giannis to help him. They could win a championship now. They could actually go there and compete. What would be the best point of moving in that direction? It's very simple, man. We gotta no, I think if they took it seriously and they really went all out and said, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do," and they were very serious about it, that would be the approach. Because now the Miami Heat, it'll be the Pistons, Miami Heat, uh, Boston, and they might throw New York in there. So So you got so there you go. You got your Knicks and all them. So you got your big four now. They're gonna think, but the Knicks is toilet paper water. Get them up out of there. The Knicks are done. That's the thing they got to worry about. The Warriors said, no, we're trying to get now and just keep going with what we got. That's why they signed 2 years to Steve Kerr, because he might have what's his name coming back. Yeah, they get LeBron. You got Kerr over there, and they got LeBron. There'll be another circus over there as the whole team go down. And I can't wait to see Draymond Green in there with LeBron, and they had a friendship fall apart right then and there. I'm gonna laugh my ass off. Oh, the draft is gonna be wild. We're gonna be live for the draft, so it'll be going down. Do I feel about who? No, I don't believe that. It's funny how they tell Russell Westbrook to retire, but LeBron can keep playing. Russ still competes. Russ still plays defense. Russ go out every night and give you his all. He makes teams better. Fits into the role of a team. Why? Why ain't nobody mentioning that? LeBron goes in there and brings everything negative to a team. The bitching, the moaning, the complaining, all of that. He brings it to a team and starts trying to tear it down immediately. So that's the realities that you're dealing with. It's like forced. Mm. Yeah, well, I think that they got to get rid of Paul George, like I told you before. Yeah, they got to. Yeah, they got to find a way, man, and that's just it. You got to find a way. Find out our way. Find out our way. Nah, nah, nah. Find out our way. Well, it's like this, right? When you get in a situation that you have others come in and try to mount an attack, you get what you just provided now, a bunch of nonsense out of nowhere. Absolutely. So we'll see what happens in development. But the way I see it is going to be completely different when it's all said and done because no, no. When one person says something and everybody piggybacks off of it, it's for a reason. It's normally an agenda. Like LeBron had, that's how you could tell who's on the Clutch Sports payroll. All you got to do is listen to who is saying the dumbest damn thing in the world when it's totally opposite of everybody else's expert opinion that's close. And then somebody will say something stupid like, well, we can't count out LeBron. And be like, what the hell do you mean? It's like, you know how many teams want LeBron right now? There's about at least 14, 15 teams are all screaming that they want LeBron. Huh? Who talking about they want a 40? Are you crazy? It's LeBron. It's not your average 43-year-old guy. When you start hearing conversations like that just come up randomly, you know what it is. You go, oh, okay. You would clutch. You would clutch now. I get it. Oh, it's that just happened today, but yeah, it's one coming. Yeah, it's very much so a problem. It's the World Cup. Watching the game. So I'm getting pissed off watching the results. Not liking it at all. But yeah, we'll talk tomorrow, man. We'll get ready for the whole shebang bang tomorrow. We're going live for it. So I'm gonna holler at y'all later. What's up, Paul? See y'all. Don't forget, see y'all on the Patreon. I'm out.